3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting film journey here on Delusions of Grandeur. I am one of your hosts, but today we are coming back and going with a choice from our good friend Boris. So what movie did you suggest for us to be subjected to today, Boris?
So we were last time I chose a movie called Lilith from 2018, but I changed my mind and decided to leave that one for another time. The one I chose was Girl Interrupted from 1999. Jolie and Clea Duvall.
Are you guys hearing him?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Okay, I don't know why, but there was a
Hello.
yeah, I'm here.
Looks like I'm going to have to open this on my phone because my laptop is glitching too much.
Okay, just sign out and sign back in. So the thing that I
Can
know,
you hear? Can you hear me properly now?
I can hear you properly now.
Okay, so now it should be okay. Uh, so yeah, what was the last thing you heard me say before the glitch?
I actually did not hear you say anything. So if you wanted to
What
start over,
what was the
I
last
heard you.
thing
I
you
heard you
did
say you had a
hear?
glitch. I
huh?
heard you had a glitch.
What was the last thing you heard before that
I think
about the
you said
movie?
that it was Girl Interrupted, and then that's all I heard.
Oh, so yeah, Girl Interrupted from 1999, directed by James Mangold, written by James Mangold, and interestingly enough, two of the writers have the same names as particular movie characters, Susanna Kaysen and Lisa Loomer. Very interesting. And it stars Winona Ryder, Angelina Jolie, and Clea Duvall. And it says a directionless teenager, Susanna, is rushed to Claymore, a mental institution, after a supposed suicide attempt. And there she befriends a group of troubled women who deeply influence her life. So, is this the first time you guys have watched this movie, and what were your first impressions? Let's start with ladies first, Tammy.
Um, I guess I've seen it before, but I didn't remember. But I liked it. It was different. Um, Anna Jolie and Winona are definitely are very young in this. um, but yeah, it was okay. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, what about you, Kroll?
No, it's not the first time I've seen it. as when you said you were picking it, I'm like, it's an amazing film, which it is. Yeah. As a matter of fact, when you picked it, all I could think of was Angelina Jolie was in it. Um,
Mhm.
because such an amazing. I didn't even think of Winona Ryder, and she was the main. But yeah, it's such a great cast. And just you gotta love it. It's just everybody. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg's in it. It's just such an awesome cast. Music was pretty awesome. Overall, it's just a really great movie. Um, there's definitely times when Angelina Jolie's character is such a bitch. You're like, wow, and it's funny. It's funny because she was like, I'm, and it made me think of her playing Maleficent. But when she played Maleficent, she was
Oh,
really the villain. I mean, she was, but she wasn't the villain in that one. So, in this one, kind of the same thing. She wasn't necessary. She's crazy, like you said. She's disturbed, and she's heartless, but I guess it's not 100% her fault. And she finally got broke. She finally got her buttons pushed. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie. First time I saw it, and then again this time. So I'm done.
mm, okay. And what about you, Dave?
This is at least my fifth time that I've seen this film. I
Wow.
know we've covered this film on the other channel, but I have seen this film several times. Sometimes I think one of them was when I was in school, um, uh, and they wanted to do it for psych class, um,
Ooh.
and
Makes
things of that
sense.
nature. But this is an interesting time capsule in time because this is 2 years before Winona Ryder became a criminal. Um, she went on a shopping spree, which got her in like a ton of debt um, in 2001, which was 2 years later than this. So
Whoa, I didn't
I
know
also
that.
know been the victim of um, Jewish racism and also been the victim of a stalker. So she has had in I guess uh, interesting life, especially since I remember her from Beetlejuice. Um, and then
Everyone remembers her from Beetlejuice.
we've got Duvall, which I've seen her in a few things, and this is at her cute stage. And
Who?
then uh, Miss Duvall, uh,
Who's that?
he mentioned her as
Whoopi Goldberg?
no,
Uh,
the one that was into Oz.
Oh, okay. The
She
roommate.
was also in a movie called The Faculty.
Georgette. Georgette.
Clea Duvall was Georgina.
Or Georgina, whatever.
Uh,
I was close.
Yep. So, but yeah, Angelina Jolie was definitely, if you didn't know that she was hot before, you could definitely tell that she had some sexuality exerting off in this film.
That was much.
uh, well, you can't help but look at her all nipply and shit. So,
I get that. And I don't think she was as hot in this movie as she is in a lot of the movies.
but in any case, I enjoyed the movie each time I've seen it. Um, it's it's sad because there are a lot of places that don't care, and I think people that were in this place halfway did. I don't think all of the characters that were being portrayed were you know portray, I like to think that the psychiatric units that were like during like the 60s or late 70s weren't quite up to snuff. You know, they were overpopulated. There was war stuff going on, and I think they gave way too many drugs to way too many people, and unfortunately, there were people who ki- uh, kids who like to buck the system and seem to want to be part of the system instead of wanting to be part of the world. You know, but other than that, it was enjoyable to a certain extent. It was kind of like a realization within Winona Ryder's character, you know. But and we have the infamous Brittany Murphy in here too. So, um, especially since she
Mm.
died when she was 32. Years.
Oh,
Rest in peace, man. I loved her.
Yeah, she was a
uh,
cutie. Well, she definitely loved to play her crazies. I don't know if any of you know the thriller "Don't Say a Word." Um,
no, I think I haven't seen it.
okay, that's another good one where Brittany Murphy actually plays like a really psychotic character. But
Uh,
in any case,
Yeah, I really don't say a word.
don't say a word. I'll never tell you.
That was a good movie.
So I'll bring it back over to you, Boris, to bring us in.
so, in my case, it was the first time I watched the movie, and there is a kind of interesting story to how I discovered it and got interested in it. As some of you may know, I have recently grown very fond of this uh, horror movie named Friend Request. And in that movie, you see a lot of Facebook profiles of the main characters. And the main character in that movie, who is a psychology student, you can see her Facebook profile showing. For us, brief moment, it shows her favorite movies, and since I was analyzing friend request a lot, I paid attention to that detail too. And one of the movies that was shown on that list was this one. So I looked it up and it looked interesting. So yeah, that's how I discovered this movie and found myself interested in watching it. And it turned out an okay movie. It's different from what I expected. I must say, I had read it would be a thriller, so I expected more of thriller stuff here, like some psychological thriller with someone I don't know trying to kill others or something.
Hmm.
uh, so yeah, it turned out to be more of a drama than thriller, but it was still an okay movie. I'm glad I watched it. As Kroll has already said, it really shows the multi talents of Angelina Jolie when it comes to acting. Like some of her other characters are really very much different from this. But yeah, it was definitely interesting to see her in a role like this. And Yeah, like I said, overall, maybe I expected more intensity and suspense than there ended up being, but it was still a good movie. So, yeah, I guess that would be it. Uh, so, yeah, to start with the plot, at the beginning, we see Susanna Kaysen, Winona Ryder's character. So the story takes place in 1967 in New England. She is an 18-year-old who has had a nervous breakdown and she overdosed on aspirin and alcohol, which apparently gave her family the wrong idea that she intentionally tried to commit suicide. So, against her wishes, she is checked into this psychiatric hospital named Claymore. So, what do we think of this beginning scene when she talks to this psychiatrist or whoever he is and see the flashbacks where we find out what
Well,
led her to her.
I absolutely dislike her mother to begin with. She's a socialite, a woman who seems to push her daughter into being a hostess all the time for her fucking parties. Um, because I feel like the mother kind of orchestrates everything, and
Dad,
and
much better.
huh?
The dad doesn't seem to be much better.
No, he's kind of just goes with the flow. I think
They both
Like,
act
no,
like
he seemed like an asshole. He was just like
he's a cuckolded husband. He just says
I
yes,
don't
dear.
I don't think he's.
they both act like they're ashamed of her.
Yep, exactly. He was just much of an asshole as the, if not worse than the mother.
I didn't really see her father doing much at all, so I,
You need to,
I
guess you
I
need to watch
couldn't say
yours.
yay or nay on him. I saw him just there, and that I feel like he was one of those husbands that was controlled by the mother.
I don't think so.
But
Well, we didn't really see him do much on his own. That's true.
He
Well,
seemed like he just
uh,
went along with the mother just to not create more friction. He just kind of, yes, dear, yes, dear.
Mm,
uh,
yeah.
secondly, obviously there was a lot going on, more than was being shown, but enough to make you feel like she she'd had an affair with one of her professors, and she was trying to end it. But I think she was also feeling guilty for it. Had a little bit too much to drink, and accidentally took too much aspirin. But all appearances, it looked like she was actually intentionally trying to kill herself. And because it was the first time that it probably had happened, that the parents decided to panic attack, tell her fucking psychologist this, and because psychologists were the way they were, immediately, okay, let's put you in the psych ward, because that's what they did. If they couldn't explain the behavior and it looked like suicide, boom, okay, you're getting a call. And unfortunately, they put her in a taxi. The mother had packed a suitcase, stuck it in a taxi, and she felt like she had no choice but to go and wherever they were taking her. So sorry to take over there for a moment.
Oh, that's fine. So, yeah, she is taken to that hospital, and that's where she gets to know this group of female characters. So it's she becomes friends with a girl named Polly who apparently has schizophrenia, and she has like half of her face burned because what exactly was said, like she is was it said that she set the house on fire? I watched the movie a few days ago, so I don't remember the exact details.
I think she set the house on fire. She's kind of a pyromaniac, and so her the whole entire right side of her face is like a burn, you know. So
Mm,
she gets the nickname of Torch, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what Lisa called her.
But yeah, that's what Lisa calls her. Um, uh, Also, I do want to mention that Winona Ryder's character is having flashbacks of things as she's go as the film like goes on, like things that actually happened. So it's like it's telling her story as well as what's happening presently, all the way through the film. You know, uh,
Yeah.
like the fact that there's this boyfriend who's played by young Jared Leto, um,
Oh yeah.
who is scared of being drafted into the army.
He
Um,
was a one night stand that fell in love with her.
yep. So
And
and
in
he,
this movie, he actually could act.
but yeah. So we do have that. Um, uh,
mm.
Anyone else notice the flashbacks?
Mm,
I
weren't watching.
yeah. Uh, yeah, there was that part of her having sex with him and stuff. Mm,
Yep, and he got creeped out because she was talking about death, and she decided to get up and leave. And then it was shortly after that she evidently OD'd, and um, they evidently pumped her system, and was sent to the ward. And the first person she met was Whoopi Goldberg's character.
Oh, she met the woman too that was sitting there interviewing her. Whoopi was just sitting there.
Yep, and I think it was flashbacking between her and her high school principal and this lady who was welcoming her to the ward.
mm,
Because she was saying something. The principal was saying something to the fact that you might be the only person in your class that is not looking to graduate or find a college uh, to go to or whatnot.
What do you plan to do? I plan to write. But what do you plan to do? I hate how they treated writers like it wasn't real. Was that profession, you know?
Oh, just like artists. I was just watching a mini series from the '60s, and at one point in time, artists didn't make good money. You know,
Uh,
uh,
yeah, like now.
you
now
you
now
beat me to it.
artists are like one of the, especially if you get a good following. I mean,
You
if
never
you
heard
Uh,
the term a starving artist?
yeah, well,
You
getting a
really
good following
can't
is the
write
hard
artists?
part.
That's like saying all actors and actors make a lot of money.
Well, yeah, you can put 500 to 1,000 on specific art pieces these days if people will pay that
That's
for.
that's nothing.
I know, I know, especially since like the last like there was an auction that was going for one of the pieces of clothing that um, was worn on the Titanic, and it went for like multi-billion dollars. So it's like,
Holy hoot hoot.
Yeah,
and
just
that's not even art.
exactly. It's not. It's crap. But people pay for crap.
Yep. So, but in any case, uh, bring us forward with some of the other characters.
Yeah, so another character Susanna befriends is someone named Cynthia Crowley, but she's not very plot relevant if I remember correctly. Then
No, there are
Daisy,
definitely some background characters.
yeah.
Yeah,
Then there, sorry, what?
the dyke.
uh, yeah. Wait, what was the Dyke's name? I forgot.
I don't remember.
Uh, yeah, but then there is Daisy Randone, the girl who self-harms and has obsessive compulsive disorder, and she collects those chicken leftovers, from what I remember.
Yes, Brittany Murphy's character.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
And then
Uh,
the first girl she meets is her roommate, Georgina.
yeah, Georgina, who is a pathological liar, apparently. Although
And
that
a avid Wizard of Oz fanatic. I mean, she's got the original first edition of Frank L. Baum books there. I mean, I believe the book that she was reading was the Patchwork Girl of Oz.
Yes, that's what it was called.
Oh, so yeah, another one is Janet Weber, a sardonic woman with anorexia. Is that maybe the lesbian one? I can't remember.
I can't say for sure. All I know is that while Whoopi Goldberg was walking towards the common area, she was the one that uh, she wanted something, and Goldberg said something to the effect of, "Well, first of all, you need to eat, and then I can give you that."
No, it was not the same one. The one that said she needed to eat was thin. The dyke was fat.
Ah, oh yeah, yeah, true. Indeed. Uh, oh, well, let's see. Susanna, Lisa, Georgina, Daisy, Polly, Tobias, oh, Cynthia Crowley. Oh, Cynthia Crowley is the lesbian, but yeah, she didn't play much of a role in the movie. She was more like just being there.
No, she was background character.
Yeah. So, uh, okay, and of course, aside from those, there is the infamous Lisa, played by Angelina Jolie, who is
Yeah,
Susanna finds herself especially drawn to her, and she is apparently a sociopath. That's what they say. And she is rebellious but charismatic, and she encourages Susanna to stop taking her medication and to resist therapy. Which I must say, with the staff acting the way they were, I could kind of understand why someone would want to do that. I Throughout a major part of the movie, I was being suspicious of the staff maybe having some agenda.
Well, unfortunately, psychiatric wards tend to get a bad rap because of uh, the health profession and the professionalism that was done at that point in time. Um, wasn't it wasn't exactly well thought of, and honestly, in the beginning of this, in the beginning when we first set up psych wards, they were called asylums, and
Oh,
oftentimes there were places that we placed those that we did not want to be part of society. Anything that even remotely was not the norm, we stuck there. Um, and of course, over time, there were tuberculosis patients and people of normality that didn't even really belong there. But um, I mean, it took a long time for we as a people to actually realize that we had, we had placed these disgusting people in charge of these places, and then realize, oh God, we have a humanity um, a crisis going on. Let's actually give a shit, you know. And it was during that time period where you know places started to give a shit, and unfortunately, because they've been given a bad rap, mental patients often will purposely seek out psychiatric wards. In fact, I know Tammy has worked for the House of Corrections before, and oftentimes during the winter, they would get in trouble just to have a place to spend, the winter. You know, um,
Yep, they're called the repeat offenders.
repeat offenders, where some of them didn't even have homes to go back to,
They get
and
in trouble for something stupid just so that they can be put in there for the winter.
and unfortunately, that gives them a bad rap because then it goes on their record, that they did that. But
But it's
and
sad.
uh,
Sad, my first year there, other people were telling me this, and I'm like, really? And they're like, yep, because there's nowhere else for them to go. You know,
It's fair or prison.
well,
yeah.
unfortunately, when you're homeless, you're homeless. Um, there's and you can't stay out on the street. You know, uh, you'll get in trouble then too. Although I think let people alone as far as that. I mean, I think there are still campers over in the park in the I believe there are a bunch of Winnebagos in each of the different parking lot things right off the freeways.
they're starting
They
to
call
come back now. They're starting to come
Yeah, they're
back. They
starting to come
they got
back
a
now.
lot over the summer. There was a lot of people that were tent camping at the park and rides.
Well,
So
I see actual Winnebagos and campers at those places now. So
well, that some of it is they actually can store them there. Okay, that because your sister even said that that was a a possibility before they found out where that place where they put theirs, that
Uh-huh.
they can't actually store them there. So some of them are stored there, but others, the ones that are usually on the very edges and stuff, are the ones that people are actually living, and the tents are going to start coming back now that the weather's getting better.
Yep. So there are homeless camps still out there.
I let you know
So
when the weather will start getting better here.
It's going to be 70 degrees here today.
Nope, not here.
Anyways, though, we need to move this along because my boss would really like it if I came in a little early.
Okay,
Yep.
well, we can get this a little bit further along. So we've kind of talked about a little bit of the characters. Let's go into the plot.
Uh, True. So yeah, L- Lisa, Angelina Jolie's character, she helps the girls sneak around at night at the hospital. There are these underground tunnels and stuff that she knows how to go through, and yeah, she also provokes both the patients and the staff a lot. Yeah, including Valerie Owens, which is Whoopi Goldberg's character. Uh, and is it at this point or later? I'm not sure. When they sneak into this office and read their own diagnosis, or
I
is that
believe
later?
that was somewhat in this first because they find the underground bowling alley. They play some bowling, and then after that they break into the office and look at their treatment papers.
Uh, yeah. Okay. Apparently, that's not quite yet. But yeah, we also see Susanna having these therapy sessions with Dr. Melvin Potts, who we have already mentioned. And it said that she has a borderline personality disorder, which the doctor had initially concealed from her. Now, I'm not sure if that's how they were doing it in real life back then, but to me it seems highly unprofessional to not let a patient know what exactly their diagnosis is.
Well, it isn't. She basically signed herself into a place that she cannot sign out of on her own. They have to be the ones to tell her, okay, she's all better, she can go home. Now there are more places now that will allow you to sign yourself out, but this particular place, I believe, was one where you could not. That the health professionals were the ones
And
that.
it was less likely in the 60s for them to let people sign themselves out either. We gotta remember this is set in the 60s, so times are different.
Yeah,
and
1967.
and to be fair, they were uh, a very much a let me tell you this: if you went in on your own volition, you had a hell of a time proving to them that you were able to go out into your own.
Well,
Uh,
she kept saying she wanted to leave, but she had opportunities a couple times to leave, but I think she deep down she realized she needed to be there, and she did, and she finally did get better. But um, yeah,
Mhm.
One thing
uh,
to note is that Lisa, when she first came in, she had actually already escaped several times before, and it was because they were doing shock therapy on her that she had actually left.
Can't say I
Yeah.
blame her for keeping for that.
I don't blame her for that either, but they kept catching her and bringing her back, and that was the reason why she came back. And I guess there was a girl that was in there before as the previous roommate of Little Miss Oz here, Georgina, that evidently when she didn't know where Lisa was, she went and killed herself, I guess. So that was a tragedy that evidently had happened, and Lisa was irate at Winona's character because she thought that she had something to do with it. But as time went on, they kind of gravitated towards each other, and I think kind of influenced her because, you know, uh, uh, she was kind of forced into this, even though she signed herself in, you know, because she was 18, she had to do the signing, and even after at first she was like,
Well, I
"Shouldn't
guess
my parents?"
she was living home with her parents, and her parents wanted her to go in there, so she didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, speaking of which, we never really found out how exactly her parents forced her to sign herself in if she didn't really want it.
We just told you she
It
had
was
no
the
other place to go. She had
Sorry,
no other place
what?
to
it was the
Sorry, what?
it was the psychologist that basically they were using as a go-between to convince her to go into the taxi and tell her that it was good for her where she was going.
get some rest.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
the mother was looking on from the car and looking like she was all upset and shit, but it did nothing even though they did come and when the one doctor called and was like, "Hey, when can we bring our daughter home? Christmas is coming," and Winona's character was kind of like, "Oh, don't worry, they're just worried about their Thanksgiving occasion or whatnot,
Christmas.
you know." Uh,
Yeah.
They were more worried
because
about her social standing than they were worried about her.
yep. So
Yeah, it said people are worried about you. That's what the father said. People are worried about you. Didn't say he was worried.
Good noticing. Yeah, yeah, he did say
The
that.
father's an ass.
but yeah, and then of course the boyfriend comes in and tries to save her.
He's my
Or
boyfriend. He's one night stand.
he didn't want to go to the go to war, so he told her that
Yeah, he wants to go to
uh,
Canada.
yep, he had some money, they could go up to Canada, they could get away from it all, and he loved her. You know?
Which in the 60s was pretty good money.
Yeah, that was pretty good money for that time.
Yeah, truth be told, I cannot really blame him for
Shit,
wanting
I was watching
to.
Perry Mason, and
I don't blame him
they
either.
I was watching a Perry Mason episode, and they went to like a drive-in with a hamburger stand, and to get two cheeseburgers, two cokes, and some fries was like 25 cents, or some shit like that. You know, I mean, it's been a bygone age since things were that cheap. So, uh, and I don't think it'll ever be that cheap again. But in any case, let's move this forward. So it seems like Lisa and the rest of them are having a good old time together. Um, at least in the underground of the place, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think about the group in general, Boris?
Well, I thought they were a decent group. Like I said, I initially expected more intense stuff going on among them, more suspense and so on. But no, they became more like a group of friends. Uh, for a major part, just goofing around with sometimes some serious stuff happening too.
And of course, the nurses thought that it was a good idea to bring them out for some ice cream to visit the townies. What did you think about that moment?
Oh,
Oh, they were
that
celebrating. What's her name? Leaving.
Yep, they were
uh,
celebrating Dot's uh, leaving there because Dot had evidently
uh,
her father had gotten her a place and everything.
Daisy.
Yep, Daisy's father had gotten her a place, and evidently she was leaving, not because her treatment was done or the or fact that uh, you only leave the place when you're better, kind of type of thing. I think there was a lot of money involved with getting her out of there by Daddy. What do y'all think?
Uh, well, initially I didn't think much of that until we found out more about her father later on. But what about the rest of you?
Carl, did you have a feeling that Daisy was having a illicit affair with her father?
No.
Okay. What
Uh,
about you,
No, I
Tammy? Did
thought it
you?
was with the doctor.
Oh, you thought it was with the doctor?
Yeah, that doctor dude.
I thought the doctor was her father.
Ah, uh,
I thought if her father was owned a chicken.
Oh, that's
Uh,
right. I forgot about that.
uh,
no, her father.
Actually, uh, I must say, throughout the movie, I didn't end up understanding how exactly Lisa figured out that Daisy had a sexual affair with her own father.
well, did you see her place? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, she somehow connected that chicken thing to rape and stuff, but I didn't really understand how.
uh, the way that she was acting, the way that she was talking about her dad, the way that her daddy bought her this place and bought her a cat and and the place looked
That
like it
that's
was
that's normal dad things that a dad would do that wants to spoil their child. That does not
uh,
denote anything else.
Uh, yeah, so to me it still remains a mystery how exactly Lisa figured out what was really happening.
I agree.
I'm
Even
sorry.
you.
I guess I grew up in a somewhat you you earn your way to doing your own things. I don't just get handed uh, a house or a whatnot.
No, everybody goes up the same, Dave.
Uh, it's uh, it's a little uncanny or a little weird if you're just handed everything. everything in a handbasket. You've got to be able to earn your own way in life, at least in my mind. So I find it a little weird.
How's that
that
going for you, Dave?
Well,
Hmm.
I didn't move in with Tammy with my dad's help. When I moved in with Tammy, I did it on my own steam. In fact, I did it when when I told my dad that I was moving out from the place that he was helping pay with me on for when I was unemployed at times. I got beat in the face because of that. You know, but I still did it, and I've never once asked my dad for money to pay for my part of the rent, and I've done everything on my own steam, at least as far as that goes. So, Tammy, have I ever not had the rent money for you?
You've always had the rent money. It's the other stuff that you get in trouble for.
But
Anyway,
you know,
I guess the way I understood it is, Lisa's character accused her of not only being with her father but her therapist, and it was her father owned like a business, and that's where she got all the damn chicken from. Okay, and that guy psychiatrist at the hospital was the one that Lisa was saying that she was fooling around with. So,
yep.
but
So,
anyways, moving right along.
yep. So, go ahead, Boris.
I was just about to say, where did we leave off?
We were just discussing the situation a little bit into Daisy's almost demise, I guess. But we also were starting to talk about the ice cream incident, where
Yeah.
someone recognized who Winona Ryder's character was and decided to.
Yeah, the wife of the guy that she blew.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, we get a moment where Angelina Jolie is looking at Cherry.
Yeah.
So she was flirting with the
Second.
ice cream parlor dude. And of course, the girls were laughing at any sexual humor, which was making me determined for the other. Huh?
He said, "Do you want nuts on it?" And I cracked up laughing.
Yep, and every other thing that the girls seemed to laugh at, all the customers in the ice cream parlor had to turn their heads. It's like, what, have these customers never heard this kind of talk before? You know, I mean, this isn't exactly like walking into a church. You know, it's an ice cream parlor. It's a public place. You know.
Wasn't talked about in the 60s like that. It was done, but just not talked about.
But moving forward, so I guess after that, isn't Lisa taken down and shocked again shortly after that?
I think so. And that's when
Or
she.
what? No. That didn't happen yet. There was a moment where Torch had actually been put into that back room. She'd gotten flustered because she was ugly, and I think she was watching The Boyfriend, and seeing how ugly it was, and they brought her back physically to the room, and she was alone. So they went and got a guitar and sung downtown to her, and that's when the orderly, who kind of liked Winona Ryder's character,
Oh yeah.
She asked him why he was in a light bulb, and she asked him why he liked her. He said he just liked her. So, and shortly after that is um, when they
Well, that
say
happened after she almost had sex with the guy that was in love with her,
yeah,
but instead he tried to get her to run away, and she said no.
yep,
Yeah, and the orderly was very jealous, very very jealous. You could tell.
yes, he was. So he ended up sleeping with him on the floor, and I guess that he was worried that he was going to get in trouble or fired. They found out that
He's lucky he
uh,
wasn't fired.
no, he was moved to a different area.
Yeah, he's lucky. He's lucky they didn't fire him. If it happened,
Correct.
he probably would have been fired.
But that is after this incident is when she actually went and saw the head psychiatrist lady, or should I say the warden? I think. Uh, I'm not sure if I call her a warden, but they called her a wick. I don't know what I don't know what that means or anything. But what did y'all think about
Um,
the wick and her character?
mm,
I thought she was a bitch at first, but I think she was she was more caring than I thought. You know, I
yeah.
uh, I really thought that the place wasn't as good as I thought it was. They were the bad guys basically, but they weren't. It's just they were portrayed that way from her point of view. But more you watch it, the more you realize that she really did need to be there, and she really did need help. She kept saying that she wasn't trying to kill herself, and then she finally admitted that she was trying to kill herself.
Well,
So,
and I think it kind of helped that you know Daisy actually went and killed herself, even though it's not a good thing. She'd never seen death up close,
Um, yeah.
never ever. And Lisa, on the other hand, her reaction to it was not human, to be honest.
Oh, true.
Which is why I think uh, she was able to tell her that she was already dead in the end. Um,
Yeah. Uh, Up to that point, you kind of get the impression that Lisa is kind of bitchy, but not really that bad deep down. But then when you see this, like, holy shit.
uh,
it really is
I
fucked up deep down.
I think that Lisa forced Daisy to kill herself.
I don't think
Forced
she
her.
forced her. She just pushed the buttons, and like she said, she was already on there. I mean, look at her arms. Look what she did to her arms and shit. So she obviously was on the verge, but Lisa pushed her over the edge.
True. Maybe she didn't expect it to happen, but she was like, coldly speaking her mind without thinking about possible
Unfortunately,
consequences.
no matter how cruel Lisa was, she had to have been speaking truth. Otherwise, she'd have never hung herself to begin with.
Like they
But
say, the truth hurts.
Yep, and I think because Winona Ryder's character saw that up close and had never seen it in action, is what kind of brought her to. She no, she didn't bring herself to killing herself, but she knows what it's like to think about it, and that's what scared her the most. But now that she'd seen it up close and personal, uh, it's a totally different story. Then even the cringiest of people could probably be like, okay, I think I want to live, you know. So that's
Yeah.
uh, and that was during a moment where Lisa had actually come to her in the middle of the night after she'd been gone for a while, because there was some time period where Lisa had actually been separated from them after that whole them singing to Torch that night. They'd taken Lisa, and I think they did some shock treatment on her during that time. And
Yeah, and
that's
I
when
thought,
they
yes.
decided to run away.
Mm, Indeed, honestly, I thought that was a stupid reason to give someone shock therapy because they were just
Have you ever
singing.
seen shock therapy in any movie?
Not
It's where
in
they strap
movies.
you down in either a chair or a bed, and they stick these metal things to your ears that are connected to some kind of electronic equipment that is either to the left or right of you, and they put up and they basically electrocute your brain,
Uh,
and depending on how much they want you to remember is how much they want to shock you with. There is a level of shock treatment that there have been people who their entire brain, they are a walking vegetable because of them. And shock therapy was something that was used for many years. And good thing that they actually outlawed it, because there are many people who never came back from it.
uh,
Hey,
yeah.
lobotomy used to be normal too.
So isn't that a little bit fucked up to do to someone just because they were singing to another mental patient?
I agree.
I agree, but
Yeah.
Definitely
they did.
not in the best interest of everybody.
Nope, definitely not. So I don't blame her for wanting to run at that moment.
Exactly.
So
But
she goes and gets some money for them,
yeah,
and
she steals her from the guy that gave them a ride.
yeah, and she also steals the money from Daisy
Yeah,
and
afterwards, yeah,
expects.
after she pushes her to kill herself.
Yep,
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well,
and
she is
she
crazy, and she
stuck
kept
around.
saying it.
She stuck
Sorry,
around,
what?
and
She is crazy, and she kept saying she was. She
yep,
wasn't a liar.
it's not that she
uh,
wasn't crazy, but
uh,
you can't push crazy people's buttons because you don't know what they'll do.
no, I mean, it was crazy of Lisa to just think about money and take it literally from the corpse
It wasn't just
hanging.
crazy; it was not normal.
Yeah, yeah.
It was not right. There's a difference between right and wrong, and you don't take money from a corpse, no matter what you do. even if it's like $1 million in the pocket of that person, you just don't. It was that person's money or whatnot. Although I'm sure a lot of us would love to be a little bit richer, we'd still probably get caught in the end. You know, I watch cop movies just like most people. But
Yeah.
in any case, so we're kind of all over the place, but she gets brought back, and she kind of goes through a little bit of a change. She she actually wants to get better. So while Lisa is off wherever, she's getting better. She starts talking to the Wick, and she starts showing that she's getting better, and it gets to the point where she actually Lisa comes back. In fact, she's brought in by the cops, and I guess she goes down and tells her that she's going to be let go in a couple of days, and she goes back and lays down, and lo and behold, she goes to sleep. Evidently, she's brought back the cat. Which, do you remember the name of the cat?
Ruby. Ruby.
Ruby. Well, Ruby kind of becomes a animal that the rest of the patients like and love. But she wakes up and the cat is gone. So she goes down in the tunnels and finds where Lisa and the rest of them are, and she's reading off what's in her diary that she writes in.
Lisa is reading what?
Lisa is reading her diary. Lisa is reading.
Lisa is reading Susanna's diary.
Correct.
Exactly.
And she's furious. She's furious that her thoughts are being exploited, and
because all the thoughts are about everybody there, so they were all pissed off at her because of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this is also a good moment where she is basically told Lisa that she is already dead inside. And I mean, there's more that she says into this thing, the hammer at home.
Well, Lisa was chasing her and telling her, everyone has buttons so easy to push and everything. How come no one pushes my buttons? And that's when she struck back and hit her, pushed her buttons. She almost killed herself.
Yeah, that was.
And she does Suzanne ultimately does hurt her hand too in this whole process, because she tries to run away from Lisa, and she does come over to Lisa, even though Lisa is in fact kind of incarcerated where she is, because they've got her belted to the bed. And she tells her, I'm really not dead inside. And she's like, I know. And she got her some
nail polish.
Got her some nail polish. I figure you're gonna be leaving soon, right, dear?
Yes, but don't call me dear.
Well, I got kicked out.
I was talking to Tammy.
But I'd like to be going soon.
Okay, well, did you want to, if you don't, because we're almost to the point of where the film is ending, did you want to say what's your favorite moments were.
Okay, my favorite character is Lisa. I get a kick out of her. Just so rude and crude, and but yet you find out later that she really does have a heart, even though it seems like she doesn't. You know, you see bits and pieces that she really does. My second favorite character is Ruby.
That's a nice one.
Um, my favorite scene. Oh, I like the ice cream parlor.
Okay,
I
it's a
get
good
a
one.
kick. And yep. You know what my movie is next week, right?
Your movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have it too, so on your shelf. So,
Yeah.
but
Which one? I don't know
well,
what it is.
we're doing a movie this Monday that was hers, which is King Kong. So,
No, next
Which version?
the original.
next Sunday, David.
Oh, next Sunday is me.
No, it isn't.
Oh, wait,
No, it isn't.
that's right.
It's me.
It's you.
Tammy.
So, what movie were you going to pick?
Grease.
Okay. So,
Greece.
which I'll mention at the end when we're done here. So,
Okay,
so
as far as I thought production was really good because it seemed really down to earth. There wasn't any. Of course, this isn't a movie with special effects, so it seemed
yep.
pretty much for real, and I liked the soundtrack. So
Okay. Sounds good.
all right,
Well,
guys, you have a good one. Sorry to cruise so early, but work asked nicely, so I'm trying to be helpful.
yep. Talk to you later.
Catch you later.
Talk to you later,
Okay.
Tammy.
Bye.
All right, can we finish this?
Yep. So, uh, yeah. So let's go into sure. I guess we get a moment where she is being evaluated at the end of the movie, asked like what she's going to do with her life is because evidently her father had gotten her a job somewhere um and they're like, well, is that the only thing you want to do? And she's like, well, I would like to write. And they kind of looked at her a little funny, but you know, it is what is, so she was allowed to leave, and I guess we didn't get to know whether she did or didn't. She said she saw some of them over the years. That group.
Yeah, but they didn't say if was who it was either. I was kind
Well,
of
no.
I was kind of mad they did that too. I'm like, okay, like
Like sometimes they put at the end like this
yeah,
person grew up and became this, or this
yeah.
person grew up.
They should have done that. They should have said what happened to them because we don't know. We just know that some of them, and some of them didn't. So we don't
Well,
know
I do
who.
know that this is based on an actual memoirs of a person. So maybe
Makes
they
sense.
Oh,
end up
I
knowing.
read it was based on a book, but
Well,
I
it wasn't
didn't
just
know
based
it.
on a book. That book was like a diary of someone. Uh, it was a memoirs
Oh,
of someone. That was a book. So
so it was kind of
sometimes
based
people,
on.
sometimes people create a novel out of their own subconscious, out of their own experiences, and that's what a memoir is. So, um, but in any case, at the end of everything, Crow, what did you think about uh, the
uh,
production?
Production was like Tammy said, no need for special effects, so it was good. Everything seemed like in place that I could see. I felt like it was the '60s. The cars and everything, the ice cream shop and places, the hairdos. Yeah, it definitely felt like it was the '60s to me. Even had some hippies in there. The girl,
Yeah,
smoking pot. So yeah, and everyone smoked cigarettes all over the place, even even in the hospital and stuff.
I was
Mm,
almost, I was almost thinking that they would almost uh, kind of play it off like the hippies were John Lennon and the Beatles or something like that. Or so I could have seen them doing that, but um, and then just because earlier the taxi driver had said something to the effect, are you a tripper? John Lennon's like that. Well, I'm no John Lennon.
Yeah.
But um, as far as production, what did you think about it, Boris?
well, I thought it was pretty good, yeah, as we have already established with the story being the way it is, it didn't require any big special effects. But one thing I would really like to point out as quite good was okay, maybe that should rather be mentioned in music, but I will also mention it here is uh, the scene of Daisy's death, or when Susanna was about to find her dead, like the whole build up to it with the music that was playing, where they were playing these very specific lyrics about
Someday now it's the end of the world. Ended when you say goodbye.
If I remember correctly, the Carpenters, I believe.
yeah.
Up in the morning, I wonder whether things the same as it was. Yeah, no, I can't sing good, but hey.
That's fine. I wouldn't have sung it
It was
much
one of those
better
record
or
players that
not.
it was one of those record players that as soon as it got done, it would automatically play it again.
I had one like that as a kid.
I
Yeah. So I think
find
that's
I find that moment creepy, just a little bit.
oh yeah. That's why I'm saying it's so well done because with the lyrics they chose and everything, you just even before Daisy is found dead, the, that music kind of already reveals that she is dead. You just know it, but it still keeps you on edge about what Susanna is going to see, and
Well,
that
the
was
song
It's not
is
that it
the
scares me
song
or
is a
anything
good
like that.
song, and
It's just
it's not about suicide. It's the woman lost her love. He left her, and so she felt like the world is over now that he's gone. So she, that's the whole song, that she's upset over losing her love, and she feels like the whole world should be over because that's how her feeling is, that she feels her whole life, that the world's gone, like it doesn't exist anymore because he's gone out of her life. So
Y- yeah, but
it's a sad love song. So,
it,
but I mean, it was perfect for this. But I'm just saying it was a sad love song if you know the song.
yeah. Well, okay, I didn't know the song.
I didn't think
Otherwise,
so. That's why I was telling you.
okay, well, I do know some obscure music that you probably
It's
don't
not
know
obscure.
about.
It's not
it
obscure.
was a popular song
It
during
was a
the
very popular
the
song in the
60s and
'60s.
70s.
My mother listened to it
Mm,
all the time.
oh, yeah, makes sense.
Matter of fact, it was stuck in my head about a month or two ago, which is weird because I hadn't seen this movie or anything else with that song, but it was stuck in my head. So
Interesting. But yeah, I was going to say the specific portion of the song they chose, which appears to be some sort of farewell song, and it contains phrases like goodbye and all that. So yeah, those things kind of give away what Susanna is about to find, and then she goes into Daisy's room, and Daisy isn't there, and then the cat starts meowing and pointing to the bathroom, and you just more or less know what's about to happen. But you are still you are still kept in suspense about what condition Daisy's body would be found in, like what exactly she did to herself.
Well, this time I remembered that she had hung herself. I remembered like as soon as I saw her character in the movie. But yeah, I don't remember my thoughts the first time. But I don't think I thought she killed herself because that song to me is a love song, is a sad love song. It's not a suicide song. So because you don't know the song, you had a completely different impression. But because I know the song, I didn't have that impression when the first time I saw it. And this time
Well,
that I already knew that she had died. So
okay, maybe I was also partially influenced by my friends commenting on the movie because I was watching this one with my friends, and when there was this scene when Lisa revealed the whole truth about Daisy and her father, and my friends were like, "Uh-oh, Daisy is about to kill herself." And
oh,
then
well,
there
I'll ruin it for you.
Well, it's not. It wasn't direct spoiling. They were just speculating what might happen, but they were correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So to me, that was one of the more intense scenes in the movie, and I thought it was portrayed very well. But yeah, aside from that, the rest of the music was also good, and. Okay, we are at the production. I'm going to go into music and favorite scenes later. Who hasn't said their thoughts on the production yet?
Me, but I'm pretty much of similar. I think this was very much a period piece, so it was definitely set in like the 50s, 60s, maybe late 70s. No, early
60s.
70s, late
60s.
60s, early 70s.
They even said it in the movie, 60s.
Yeah, they said 60s, but it was during like a wartime, so I'm thinking like Vietnam, maybe.
Which started at the end of 60s.
But
Yeah, yeah. The
uh,
story takes place in 1967, or so they say.
Yep.
yep. So I believe that was the start of that, and that was the war that nobody wanted anybody to go and do anything about. There were a lot of people against the war, and some of them thought it was a war that was useless.
There was a war that was useless and we didn't belong there.
Uh,
My
every
father was
war
there.
is useless.
My father was there.
Oh, so that means just let everybody fight their own wars.
Yeah, we didn't belong there. We're not the fucking world police like we try to be.
Mm.
Well,
Politicians should fight among each other. Why should innocent people be dying for them and their agendas?
well, it's just as same as any thing. Are you going to allow crime to happen, even though it's like
No,
happening
it's
right
not the
in front of
same
you?
thing. No, it's not the same thing.
Oh, okay. But that's what's wrong with this world. Genetic,
Yeah.
Stupid things like that.
where we just let crime happen and we do
Has
nothing.
nothing to do with crime. We're talking about different country that were fighting their own fucking war. Did the other countries come in when we had the Civil War? No.
That's because they don't didn't have as much power as we did.
No, it's because they're not fucking stupid jackasses like we've been. Or the fucking presidents have been.
No, I am personally of a mind is that we should not
So
allow
why
crime.
didn't you go to the military, dude? Why didn't you go to the
I'm not.
military and sign up to go kill yourself for other people that don't want your help?
I can't
Mm,
because of my mind and my
Oh,
disability.
so it's okay for other people to do it.
Well, our country was based on the ability to bear arms. It was also based on the ability to realize
But
when
it
there
shouldn't be
is
on the ability
wrongdoing
to fucking butt in where
happening.
they're not wanted. Vietnam didn't want the help.
No,
Nobody
they didn't.
wanted the help. They went over there
No,
and
they
killed
didn't.
the fucking people they were supposed to be helping.
So just let the country die and watch it happen. Let the world burn
It's
around
not
you.
our fucking
Not care,
business.
care a damn bit about any other people but your own shit, right?
No,
No, in my opinion, okay, that's theoretical. In practice, it's impossible to achieve such consensus among so many people. But the best thing would be if all soldiers on both sides would say, "No, we are not going to war. We are not going to kill each other over your bullshit."
Well, in any case, so let us look at like I said, it is a period piece. It did touch a little bit on that aspect of the world. It was in the backdrop, the war going on and the draft and all that jazz. Which
Mm,
I honestly don't agree with the draft. I think
yeah.
I think we should treat uh, the military as a voluntary thing that people want to do. And if you want to stand for your country, fine, stand for your country. You know, there are people who still have that instilled in their blood, that signing up for the army is the good thing to do, or signing up for the navy is a good thing to do, or this and that. Um, but that being said, uh, the music. Let's look at the music real fast. Girl interrupted. Okay, so the soundtrack is definitely a good one. It's got Simon and Garfunkel with their song "Bookends." The Girl from Ipanema, performed by Estrad Gilberto. Of course, there was Downtown,
the
which was
doors.
performed by Petula Clark. It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, performed by them, written by Bob Dylan. Got a Feelin', performed by the Mamas and the Papas. Time Has Come Today, performed by the Chambers Brothers. Coming Back to Me, performed by Jefferson Airplane. Whatever Will Be, Que Sera, Sera, performed by Doris Day. Moon River, performed by the 101 Strings Orchestra. Angel of the Morning, performed by Merrily Rush and the Turnabouts. Ranchito Parade, performed by William Luce. Nighttime is the Right Time, performed by Aretha Franklin. Sleigh Ride, performed by Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra. Adest Fidelis, performed by Wiener Sankerneben as Vienna Boys Choir. How to Fight Loneliness, performed by Wilco. The Wait, which is performed by the band. Roadhouse Blues, performed by the Doors. The End of the World, performed by Skeeter Davis. Forgetting by the Feminine Complex. Of course, there was music from The Wizard of Oz. There was music from Father Knows Best. 310 to Yuma was in there somewhere. For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, performed by residents of Claymore Psychiatric Hospital. And Fairweather Friend, the final song in the closing credits by Pen Pushers. So, and then of course, composed. The movie was composed. Give me a second. by Michael Dana, which I guess he was known for such films as the composer behind Life of Pi, Moneyball, Little Miss Sunshine, Monsoon Wedding. Lately, he's done Seven Walls, My Father's Dragon, Where the Crawdads Sing, The Addams Family 2, and The Addams Family, the recent cartoons. Let's see. Oh, he was the composer for A Dog's Way Home, The Good Dinosaur, the movie Transcendence, The Time Traveler's Wife, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. So he's definitely known for a lot of things. The movie Fracture, which I'm trying to remember whether we did or not.
Welcome.
Oh, is it the one with Anthony Hopkins?
The best decision
Yeah,
ever
that's the one.
right now because you always
Oh, yes, we did that one.
So, but other than that, let's go into favorite scenes or favorite characters. So, Crow, let's go with you. Favorite character and or favorite scenes. Crow,
Crow, you are muted. Uh-oh.
you must have to go. All right.
Oh. Uh, okay, then I guess I will say my favorite characters and favorite scenes. I think my favorite character would also have to be Lisa, even though she is a kind of bad character, but the one with the most developed personality, the most outstanding one among them all. She even kind of she even kind of draws more attention than the protagonist. And I really like the fact that at the very end things were resolved with her without when there was this final confrontation. I thought that she was I don't know trying to kill that she was going to try to kill someone and get killed in self-defense or something, and I in the end I was kind of glad it didn't end that way. And so yeah, I think she would be my favorite character and favorite scene. I have already said that Daisy's death scene was very impacting, but I wouldn't call it my favorite scene. Maybe my favorite scene would be Susanna's conversation with Lisa after the final confrontation, when they had a reconciliation and when we found out there was still hope for Lisa after all. That would probably be my favorite scene. And since we apparently lost Kroll, what about you, Dave?
Well, he had to go because he has stuff to do. So, me, well, my favorite character is Lisa. Um, I guess I'm not as well as a fan of Winona Ryder as some people were at this point in time. I think I think I liked her in Beetlejuice. I didn't mind her as Mina in Dracula, you know, but I think when she went and shoplifted, that's it kind of put a stain on her name. Like this, that happened 2 years after this movie. So,
Ah,
um, and maybe that maybe taints me on her. But that being said, she didn't do bad as bad acting. I wasn't a fan of her short hair. Um,
and yeah, I
I don't,
generally
I
prefer
don't like,
longer.
I don't prefer the Peter Pan look on a woman. Sorry.
That's fine. I also prefer longer hair on women.
I like
Uh,
women with relatively longer hair. Short hair is not a sexy look. I- if you start looking like Ellen DeGeneres, no, thank you. But no offense to any of you out there. Ellen DeGeneres, she maybe her show was is a good show out there. But that being as said, I did like the bowling alley moment. I also liked the cat, but I do.
oh,
Even though I get creeped out by the moment of Daisy killing herself, that is probably my favorite moment in there because she, Suzanne comes back to the house. She hears the music blaring, and she's the one who walks up there and sees what's up. The cat is the one that tells what's going on, because the cat goes up to the door, and, you know, and I was saying to myself, well, now the cat doesn't have an owner. Uh, and then when
sorry.
she takes the cat with her, I was like, okay, I guess the cat does have an owner. But uh, it's
Oh,
well, because it probably knew about its owner's death before anyone else.
apparently so.
But
I'm not sure if that's what a cat would do in real life. Okay, maybe.
oh,
I'm
cats
not
are
sure.
very sensitive. Cats are very pets are very sensitive in general. They will know if something is up or wrong. They are sensitive in that nature. Like I know that Diego, he goes nuts so when he knows that Mama will arrive home from work. He knows when she comes in, and he's ready to make the great escape. uh, well, he tries to run out in the hallway and act like he's gonna run down the stairs or what not at times. So, but in any case, yeah, those are my favorite moments. I don't like the moments of when uh, they choose to. Well, from according to Lisa, that they use shock treatment on her at times. So I'm
Yeah.
they were trying to nicey the psychiatric thing, but that was something that I think you can't exactly sugarcoat. You know. So,
Exactly.
but other than that, for you out there that have enjoyed this film, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments what you thought of our discussion. Again, we are going to be going on about Greece next week, Sunday, so look out for that. Grease lightning. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways, so get ready for not. What is it? Our first musical on here, or no?
uh, no, we were already doing Xanadu, which is also
Well,
it.
that is kind of a musical. It's not quite a musical, but it's got musicality. We didn't we cover the Wizard of Oz?
Yes,
Yeah,
quite long ago.
you and I did, but I think those are the
Yeah.
only two musicals that. Oh, and we did. We didn't do that one yet. I was going to. I was going to have
Mm,
us do the Phantom Lake musical at one point in time.
ooh, Phantom Lake.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Monster from Phantom Lake.
Oh, is it based on? Is it connected to that movie by? Is it Larry Blaymeyer?
It's Christopher Mim, that one.
Uh,
No, Larry
fa-
Blaymar. It's Larry Blaymire-ish. It's
oh
it's
yeah,
not later. Yeah, we were doing Christopher Mim movies for a while too.
Yeah. I think we did that. Was it called Monster from Phantom Lake? Was that
Yes,
the
we did
name of
that
the?
one. House of
And
Ghosts was one of Christopher Mims. Um, that was back
did we
when I was
do
trying to
House
cover
of
TV.
Ghosts?
Yeah, House of
I
Ghosts.
think after Monster from Phantom Lake, I think that was when we went into Larry Blaimeier's movies.
Yep,
Uh,
we did. And to in order to cover them, we did some double features. Uh,
oh yeah.
but in any case, let us know down in the comments what you thought of our discussion and what not. Definitely looking forward to what you thought of the film. And we'll see you next week here on Delusions of Grandeur. So say good night, Boris.
Good night, everyone. We don't have Crow to say good day.
I say good day, sirs. I say good day.